Next is Daniela Bagozzi.
Kia ora tātou. Thank you for the opportunity. I've written some comments to stick to my 3 minutes, and I won't say anything about strengthening community fund because an earlier submitter, Chris Horn, has really spoken very well about it, and I could only repeat some similar things. So can I add my support to Chris Horn's submission? I wanted to add a couple of comments on rubbish, recycling and organics. And as they also relate to the general topic of roading infrastructure, traffic congestion and cycling. Now, as well as concerns with safety, either perceived or actual danger of being the victim of an accident or an assault, another factor that is discouraging people from cycling is broken glass on the roads. And I thought it was at least in some areas, but I showed my draft to a neighbour who cycles as his only means of transport, and he assures me that it's in all areas of Christchurch. If I'm allowed to share some observations, and they're not necessarily all my own observations, with more infill housing, there seem to be fewer people who take it upon themselves to clean up the area outside their gate. And we also notice many commercial garden maintenance people use leaf blowers to blow rubbish along rather than brooms, and also that coupled with the fact that thinner glass is being used in probably most bottles. And all of this contributes to the problem of having enormous amounts of broken glass on the road. And glass is a wonderful product, I think. If only the bottles could be manufactured to a standard to allow reuse, like they used to be when they were thicker, and then eventual recycling, of course. And perhaps a refundable deposit on bottles, as is the case in some states of Australia, I believe. Perhaps that would lead to less broken glass on the road, more reuse, recycling, and fewer bottles thrown from passing cars. Now, another observation that led to a new idea, for a while now I've been noticing bits of a noxious weed called old man's beard, one of the few I know, appearing in all sorts of places, commercial premises and residential. And casual conversations with various people led me to think, well, we've got a team of people who are constantly on the road and who could be spotting it and reporting it to the appropriate people, and that's the drivers of waste collection trucks. They're in a perfect position to spot because, they're higher, they're observant, they have to be. You should see what they have to do in some areas to get to the bins. And I'm sure it would be easy enough to train them to identify, to report, and perhaps it would add to their job satisfaction as well. I wanted to ask if anybody had any questions about my section of the submission on the proposal regarding not-for-profit organisations with high cash balances and the rates remission.
We've had a number of submissions on it, and it will be carefully considered, but your submission it's a very detailed submission, so
okay. Thank you.
You can certainly take it as read from all of us, and thank you very much for all of the time and energy you've put into developing it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doug Rankin.